It's May 21st, 2025. I'm at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky, and it's time to get in the weeds. A wonderful Wednesday. It's a little bit rainy, overcast here in Toronto, but it's nice enough. Yesterday was nicer. It's cool in the city. I don't know what's going on. Summer was here, and then summer went away, and now the spring is back, and allergy seasons come and go and come and go, and Jeremy Lambert's here, and he comes, and he never leaves, but we appreciate that. How you doing?
I only come... Never mind.
How's your refractory period?
What?
The refractory period. That's what it's known as. The time in between which you need to get going again.
Oh, okay.
So, guys, how'd your show get demonetized today? Well, you see,
it's pretty short sometimes. You know.
I hear you.
Sometimes can't keep hands off each other. You know what I mean, Joel?
Yep. Yep. That first year of marriage will really do that.
Yeah. I mean, first year, we're going on year 3.
I was going to say, it's been a couple. COVID broke my brain in terms of the time is a flat circle.
Fair. Yeah. We're still feeling like the honeymoon phase in certain aspects. So, you know. The magic's still there. Good.
I hope the magic never fades.
Yeah.
I was watching video of my... I was watching video from 5 years ago when I was posting like bass guitar covers on YouTube. And the first thing I said to myself was, Jesus Christ, your beard was red. Now look at me. It's been 5 years, Jeremy. What the hell happened?
COVID.
Jesus.
I'm doing what COVID did. They'll never get over it.
I don't know how I went so gray so quickly. I mean, I do. It's called having a 3-year-old. But yeah, exactly.
That'll definitely do it too.
It's funny. So when my wife and I were like planning our wedding and all that, like we'd just gotten engaged, we were going to stop it. We were going to we were going to the synagogue actually at the time because she was going through the conversion process, and there was a young gentleman who I think was a rabbi in training or in like a scholar in training type of thing, and we had a pretty good relationship with him. He was a young guy, a little older than us, but he had a partner, he had a wife, and had some kids. And something he told me in kind of in jest, and my wife was there too, was he said, You see, this half of my beard is gray. That's the wife. That's the side that I sleep on, and my wife is on the same side. And I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! I roll around, so that's why my entire beard goes white.
My beard is like okay. Yeah, it's not too. I got some gray hairs. It's mainly what's this side over here. You can get the gray hairs over there, but. You know, what can you do? Kids and work, it's all just stressful.
I feel like going gray on the tops and like on the sides, it's fine, especially if you have dark hair. Right. Like I looked at RJ City whenever he does any like public stuff. Like I watched him do the Soraya podcast, and I thought it was very funny. But I noticed he's got his stray grays, and it does. Like Kate's saying in the chat, you know, we look distinguished. Which is what people usually say. I say I look old, but you know, RJ doesn't have to give a shit anymore because he's not on camera. He's doing stuff backstage, and he just lets it go. He doesn't care. I feel like people with darker hair who start to go gray, it looks better on them.
I don't mind it. Like I see it, I'm like, that's fine. Like it's not terrible either. If it was, I'm sure if it was more gray and it looked bad, then I would feel some type of way about it. But I don't feel any type of way about it. I'm like, that's fine. Like whatever, you know. It's honestly, it's partially kids. It's always kids. There's just like a strangled gray hair. Straggled? I don't know.
Strangled would be what the kids do. They find out what they did.
It's right now it's just being miserable with sports and everything. That's all it is right now.
It was pretty good last night. Things went okay last night.
It's okay. Yeah, it's misery and pre-misery, Joel. That's
fine.
That's all. You should. People get mad at me. This is why I block people on Twitter. I don't care. Sorry, don't come into my mentions. And I'm allowed to be angry on my Twitter. But like, I don't have like anything good to say about my team on Twitter. It's all just like negative comments. You guys should see. Like, you think if what I put out in public is bad? Like, it's not great. But like the messages, me and the infamous Sam Mercady have, I can use his real name. It's on Twitter. It's fine.
He's been on the show. It's fine. He's done a show. He's done a show with you.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
The messages we have, it's so terrible. You would think like you would think like our dog just got shot or something. Like the way we react during the game, and then when things are going well, we just don't message each other at all. Like the whole second half, just the last message we sent yesterday, the whole first half is like, just everything sucks. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be bad. The second half was one message between, hold on. I forgot how much we actually like text. A lot of text messages between myself and him.
You gotta use the find.
Yeah. One text message from, so the halftime was 10:13 is when halftime was. One text message in the second half after about 100 in the first half. And then we spent 2 hours talking on the phone together after the game and just recapping everything. It's therapy. That's my therapist, which probably should get a professional, but what can you do? Louis, I respect your optimism with this team. You've been riding this entire time. I know you've been very optimistic. I don't want to say how like internally optimistic I am. I'd rather continue to promote dread.
That's fair. I mean, listen, with the Sens, I didn't watch the first two games. I was like, all right, they lost. And I watched, and guess what? They started winning. And that's when I was like, great, now I got to start watching Sens games. And I am not a superstitious human being. But we got to do something.
So people may have noticed I wore the black hoodie. You know, I wore it on Monday's show. I think I wore it on yesterday's show as well. That thing ain't getting washed. I didn't wear it today because, you know, I just didn't want to go black hoodie again. That thing ain't getting washed though. I've worn it since Sunday, and Game 7 was on Sunday, and Game 7 went really well, and yesterday went well. Yeah, I changed up the shirt for today to make it seem like I actually do, you know, bathe every now and again, but I 100% am not washing that until, you know, we happen to potentially lose. Like it's yeah, you can't change up the uniform. You know what I mean?
I get it. I mean, listen, look at the guy who wears a black V-neck every single day of his life with whatever else. That's not even superstition. That's just existing.
Yeah.
This hoodie though, I just pulled out of the dryer, so that's good for me. It's because again, it's gotten cold here. What's going to happen if you know we're deeper into the playoffs and you start getting into those 80-degree days? You gonna be wearing it?
I don't care. Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Fuck if it's 80 degrees out. I'm wearing this hoodie until the hoodie is no longer of service and we lose a game, which I don't know if we're gonna win game 2. I don't know. We're gonna lose at some point. We're not gonna win 7 straight games. Like it's not possible. But yes, I'm gonna wear this hoodie until I have a reason to not wear this hoodie, and then I'll wear something else. And if that starts to work, we'll play this game all over again. I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious.
People are talking about air conditioning. Like, yeah, I get it. I do. But eventually you got to go outside. But also, I guess if you're going to go to the car, then I guess, you know, air conditioning again.
Yeah. Roll the windows down. Like, I'll be fine. Like, I ain't worried. No.
So I think I figured out what made me feel like garbage yesterday.
NXT.
Not a good show. Not a great show. Not a very good episode. So yes, Tuesdays are my day off. People know that. My morning meeting got canceled, and then I ended up at my desk all day. But that's not actually what happened. And I didn't tell you about this yet. So we're transitioning the kid to a big boy bed, right? So we got him the frame for it, and it's like a loft style bed with a slide. And we need to eventually build it, but we also had to get him a proper mattress. So we got the mattress. but it was one of those mattresses that came in a box, and then you uncover it and it like pops up, and then it blows up and all that stuff. This thing has been in my office on top of the other twin size mattress, and the door is usually closed in this office. The smell coming from the people know what I'm talking about. If the degassing from the mattress,
Right.
I think that's what got into my system and completely ruined me.
That sounds terrible.
It was terrible. I walked into my office this morning and I was like, oh, that's a smell. It's not good. They do come vacuum sealed. You're right, Jules, but it's like the vacuum seal, because you undo the vacuum seal and then it pops open and then it degasses, and it's funny because they all warn you, like the packaging all says, oh, I've been on a journey, so now I have to and I'm like, all right, fine, I get it, there's a new mattress smell, but it's like, it's chemically, it's not great. And I think that's what kind of did me in yesterday, because I'm in here, I live in this office when I'm working, and it's late hours, and I just got to the point where I'm like, I feel like garbage. Didn't even eat my lunch. It was bad. Or my dinner, I should say. It was bad. Whew. J Girl saying I should blame AEW for it. We got plenty to blame other people for. They got five more matches to add to the card tonight.
Yeah, that's true. They gotta announce like who's actually in this Anarchy in the Arena. I still think
I don't think anybody
should show up. No, I agree. Just allow anybody to show up. I pitched Mako yesterday. Just dude, show up. Who's gonna stop you, Mako? Like, you're a legit MMA fighter. Who's standing in your way?
Took me a second to remember you were interviewing Matt Mako and not talking about Mako Satomura.
Oh, that would be sweet.
Hell yeah, actually. Mako Satomura comes and has the last match.
Yeah, that should be sweet. Nah, Matt Mako, shout out to him. He's fantastic. I'm gonna post that interview as a solo today, so everyone can check that out. Today, he's wrestling Lee Moriarty for the Pure title at Action Dean this weekend. So
it's exciting.
Yeah. He rules. He's got to watch Fast and Furious, though. That's one thing. He's not allowed back on the show until he watches it.
It's like making people watch Hot Rod, best movie of all time. Volib sent a super chat. You can too. We'll get to that in a second. Saying Vanilla Fumble is what we call when we got a live performance that should have been a tape music video.
Vanilla, baby.
At least that one's good. Okay, real quick. Leave a thumbs up on the video. If you haven't already, we're 12 minutes in. You should probably do that. Get it. Come on, big fireworks. Give me the tornado and the fireworks. It was bad. Come on. We got it. What's going on here? Is it because of NXT?
Yeah.
I think it's because NXT was not good.
It's broken. I don't know. I updated my software last night, so maybe it's broken.
Maybe it turned it off somehow.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
It
says reactions are on. All right, I'm gonna turn it on, turn it off. Unplug it.
Yeah,
plug it back in. There we go.
Can't believe that worked. Not shocked.
Well, plug it back in.
After you've left a thumbs up because of all that great audio that was, you can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What's wrong with you? We're getting forward. We're getting closer. We gotta come on. We want more people. Just come and join us. Kate saying Hot Rod wasn't great. I messaged Kate about
y'all are some haters.
People don't understand. I've talked about this particular segment or this particular scene on our show. It's one of my favorites from Hot Rod. They could not remember it, and I was absolutely just unbearably upset. And I had to message Kate about it. And I said, I can't believe you forgot the best segment, the best scene in this movie, when Will Arnett's character pulls up to the pharmacy and says, I'm going to get a vitamin water. You want one? And then Isla Fisher's character is like, no, it's fine. And then the response is probably the best ever, where Will Arnett's character says, I'm also going to pick up some dong bags so we can knock boots later. That the most disgusting and hilarious way to make that reference is exactly those words in that order, in that sentence. Nailed it. But they couldn't remember it, and I was very upset.
I don't think we should review movies like that. People are saying people review Freddy Got Fingered like no, because we think that's funny. You know what I mean? Should have us review good movies. I'd probably hate those. Review some 70s classic, or like RJ City films. RJ City's into like the fine art kind of stuff. That would be stuff like, I don't want to watch this. What is this? What's the All About Eve? Watching that, I'd probably hate that.
I feel like a bunch of wrestling fans went and did a All About Eve watch along at one point.
Oh, they faked like they did. Yeah, nobody actually watched it, but
no. So you didn't see like all of a sudden on Max like a whole bunch of renewed subscriptions or renewed watch time for All About Eve. Although that would have been hilarious.
They acted like they watched it, like, oh, look how cool the story is. It's all about Eve. It's like, you've seen, oh yeah, of course. Like, nah, you haven't. So I'm not gonna pretend like I've seen it. I 100% have not. But that would be a movie where we would review, because all these wrestling channels, allegedly, we did this for a time. We reviewed movies with wrestlers in it. Now Kate and Alex are reviewing like good, funny comedies stuff, and us reviewing like actual cinema. That's what we should do.
Can we just review MacGruber instead?
I don't think I've seen MacGruber.
It wasn't good. The movie was awesome.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't good. Dude, Jason, this movie rules.
Yeah.
This movie absolutely rules. I love the Humble. That shit's on my rotation. We've talked about Lonely Island on the show before, but like, dude, they just got bangers, man. Absolute bangers. So yeah, Pop Star is a excellent movie.
A lot of good ones. We didn't voluntarily review Hot Rod. Sean just kept doing run-ins until he wore Alex down. Oh man, Popstar is a great movie though. People now are on the Freddy Got Fingered train. They want Alex to do that, and Alex is like, "I'll do it for $1,000 or something like that." I respect it too. Get your money. So it's funny because Tom Green grew up in Ottawa, in my hometown, and I was never the biggest Tom Green fan. And I feel like a lot of people of our generation were just after Tom Green. So it either wasn't for us or we just didn't get it yet. But more importantly, Tom Green now has he's chilled the hell out. I listened to him on Mark Maron's podcast, and he's just like, I have a farm. I live outside of Ottawa. I got a dog. I'm engaged to someone that I went to school with or had some sort of connection to my school growing up. It's a whole thing. He's just chilled out. But I might go watch Freddy Got Fingered just for my own. Yeah, he's a 90s icon. Don't get me wrong. Tom Green has a huge huge part of his gimmick. He's been there. He's done it. But he's mellowed out, man. He's chilled out.
As people do when they get older.
It's awful. Stop chilling out. Never stop, never chilling out. Yeah, Ryan told me. He talked about it. He's a Tom Green fan. Good for you. I wasn't. I tried, but the fact that he lived in my town or grew up in my town, that was enough for me to never want to talk about him again.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. SP3 saying me and Sean rewatching the Tom Green show. I want to see that. Yeah. I do want to see that because no more dinner. God. Anyway. Well. Do we have to talk about it?
Talk about what?
Let's talk about it, Jeremy. That concert was awful. Both of them. What happened? Well, I mean, what happened is that they sucked.
What happened?
Sure. Trick Williams comes out first at the crossover, and he does whatever he does, and he's rapping over a track that he's already done. No in-ears again, because for some reason wrestling just can't get it right. Put the in-ears in, and then you're up with the track. And on top of that, you've got Booker T going, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, make it stop. Oh, and it wasn't. He lost his place a couple times, which was probably the funniest part of this whole segment. And yeah, he does his shtick, and then Joe Hendry's like, "Oh, it's on now. It's serious now. The gloves are off." And he goes and he does his version of Edge's bitch, but he does Mello's bitch. Because for those of you who didn't watch TNA, and listen, I get it. Most of you have not, so you didn't know. Once upon a time, he was singing to Brian Myers, calling him Edge's bitch, because he will always be known as Edge's bitch. This is when Myers and Joe Hendry were feuding for the Digital Media Championship, which is words that I just strung together in a sentence that even I didn't want to say. He comes out, he does his whatever that was, including the video reminiscing of Halloween with Hendry or with Mello and Trick, sure. And then Trick comes out and
Loomis.
Dexter Loomis was in there too, yes.
Yeah.
But the whole thing, Trick comes out and Trick says, like, we leave things in the past. Why can't you let things go? Things live in the past. I'm like, who gave you these words to say? These are awful. This is not good. And then they do the beatdown, and the guitar to the knee I thought was hilarious because, like, from a storyline standpoint, it makes sense. He does the Trick knee, so you bust the guitar in his knee instead of his head. Sure, okay. Yeah, TNA champion stands tall, and
he's losing that title
on Sunday.
He's losing it. It's gonna rule. It's gonna be hilarious. And he's 100% losing it. I don't know if he's losing, but I've been steadfast in my belief that he's gonna lose the title, and I will continue to be steadfast in my belief that he will lose the title to Trick Williams. This sucked. Like, none of it was good. I think Trick does well on like the diss tracks that he like shoots, and the Pete Dunne stuff was funny. And he did the other one that we talked about beforehand, but now I of course can't remember who it was against. But I don't think he's terrible at that. And the Joe Hendry stuff, like, some of them can be good, but if you're just gonna rehash stuff that you already done, I'm not like that. Doesn't seem inspiring to me. This Joe Hendry performance was uninspiring. It's like, oh, okay, you're just doing the Brian Myers bit again. Like, you're on NXT. You don't have new material for this. I get, like, not everyone saw the Brian Myers bit, so for them, like, maybe it was new. But for people like us who have seen the Brian Myers stuff, it's like, yeah, that's not really all that entertaining. That you're just doing the same thing. So we knew that these performances would be iffy at best, right? Like, did anybody really have high hopes for these performances? Be honest. Like, did anyone look at when they booked this last week? Anyone say, like, oh man, I can't wait for this Trick Williams rap performance, and I can't wait for this Joe Hendry strumming his same chords musical performance? Like, I really think this is going to be super entertaining. I don't think many people did. And Joel, you talk about all the time, like, why performances in wrestling just, they are what they are. And some people can pull it off. And I don't think either of them pulled it off last night. Like, I don't think either of them pulled it off last night.
No, they didn't. Trick put out the actual track on his Twitter overnight. So, like, it was, you knew it was a track that was actually done because he was rapping over. It was the same thing, right? And again, like someone else had mentioned in the chat, it was Vala in a super chat saying, it should have been, like, you're rapping over a track you've already made. It's not good because you don't have extra hype man. You're trying to add Booker T.
I respect that Booker T just wants to get his ad libs in.
Don't worry, everyone. Booker does it because he's trying to get the talent over. Don't worry. This is absolutely working. Everyone's getting over because of this. Just fucking kill me. And then with Joe, it is what it is. It is what it is, and it's not great. Who was it? It was Senior Nerd mentioned. Kate said on the NXT review that in TNA, Joe Hendry has a rotator cuff injury that he needs to have taken care of. So this was a thing going into Unbreakable, which was back in April. The story was he was injured and they wouldn't clear him because on TV he got hurt in a segment. Yeah. And then he said, oh, doctors be damned. I'm going to go and I'm going to wrestle and I'm going to win at Unbreakable. I'm going to win at Rebellion and all this shit. And then they just kind of quietly.
What the fuck, Shrek? Are you okay?
No. I saw that video that our social posted that's getting like millions of impressions. And now I can think of as Shrek. But all of this to say, They just quietly let his rotator cuff injury kind of just go away. And who knows, maybe they'll bring it back into a story, but it won't be on NXT. Maybe in TNA in like July at Slammiversary. The TNA title's like an onion. It has layers.
That's a Donkey quote, not a Shrek quote.
They have both.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Kate saying someone in the chat told her about the rotate.
She doesn't watch TNA.
That's true. She even says I have no idea what's happening in TNA.
Come on now.
Neither do we, and we cover the show. In fact, when I emailed someone about going to the show, I got two messages. I got one from someone at TNA being like, "Hey, you coming out this weekend?" And by the way, no, it was not Steve Macklin. I know everyone goes to Macklin. It wasn't Steve Macklin. Someone at TNA was like, it was Brian Danielson. Said like, "Hey, you coming out this weekend?" I'm like, "Yes." I put the inquiry in if I can come. In that same email, I inquired about other stuff, and I got a reply about the first thing, but a complete nothing about the second thing because this person just doesn't read emails beyond the first line. So I'm still waiting to see if I'm going under siege.
Yeah, the rotator cuff thing was weeks ago, and then he's wrestled on TNA since then. He's booked for matches since then, so it's not really a thing. Oh, whatever. This just wasn't good. I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna lie. We've already talked about what I was really paying attention to last night. So this was all kind of like background noise to me for the most part. And there wasn't anything where I was like, I should go out of my way to really watch this again. I did watch the performances just to make sure I was hearing that they were bad. And it was confirmed that they were bad.
Say, oh boy, they are bad. You can confirm that they were bad. I don't know what they expected to get from this. And this was the go home segment too. My God. I mean, technically TNA does a go home this Thursday about it, but yeah. That's more like a go home for their Under Siege tag match. It's so, again, they're telling two different stories for two different shows happening on the same weekend, and it's hilarious. That's why I'm morbidly curious about Saturday's tapings. I have this feeling that I don't think either man's going to be there. I feel like they're going to be on their way to Orlando for the pay-per-view, for the PLE.
Yeah, they'll do like some type of pre-tape with them and add it in later. Like they'll film something like after Battleground and after the match and add it into the show later. No, I don't think either guy's gonna anybody's gonna be there. Like, or they well, what do we pitch? They both have briefcases and they just do a segment like that. They should just both come out and be like, "Where's the TNA title?" I'm like, I thought you had it. I thought you had it. You had it last. Like, well, you stole it from me. And they just do that whole gimmick. And then that airs on Thursday after Battleground, after the match. So then they have to run a title theft angle or a missing title angle after Battleground. They left it at a Texas Roadhouse.
Damn it. You took my line. Was it Texas Roadhouse or Texas Longhorns? Either way.
I don't know. I'm saying Roadhouse.
The amnesia storyline.
Hell yeah.
It's spy versus spy, but both spies are dumb. I guess that is spy versus spy.
And then they go, we'll do a musical performance for the championship.
No.
They should have done, Joe Hendry should have done a rap song. And Shrek should have done an acoustic song.
Yes, thank you.
That would have been better.
Like I said, if you wanted to do the ultimate diss track, you have Trick Williams rap over the Joe Hendry theme. Like you have him take that beat and just do a rap over it. But instead, they did whatever that was.
Trick out here with the Ashley Simpson of just lost my place.
Yeah, so SB3 mentioned it. I didn't expect Trick to be that bad. Dude broke character and smiled at the camera because he couldn't keep up with the background track. And this is what I was talking about earlier. The dude wasn't wearing any in-ears. He wasn't wearing anything to keep up other than the house speakers, and that's rough, man. You can't do that. They did the same thing. First of all, I harp on this all the time, and you mentioned it. No wrestling company can mic and produce an audio performance very well, a live audio performance. And what was the thing at Oh, the drummer at AEW Revolution or the one
Oh
before
yeah,
that?
the Swerve song. Yeah,
Maybe it was Dynasty.
Dynasty is
Yeah,
Dynasty.
where they had the drummer and everyone was like, "What is this?" And the drummer got lost because I don't think he was wearing any in-ears and he was just trying to keep up. Same thing here with Trick. Like you gotta have a connection to the board so that you're actually in line with what's feeding to the TV or what's feeding like to the live audience. Otherwise, there's a delay, there is latency, and you just can't do that. Like King Pate saying IEMs, those are in-ear monitors. They're needed for a live performance. Or you do the old school way where you put a couple of speakers in the ring so Trick goes to the ring and he does it, and that way he can hear himself performing. It's so frustrating when wrestling companies or wrestlers, whoever it is, don't do it because they don't either understand or they just don't care enough to do those little things that can help boost your performance and make it better. Living Color, this time was a billion times better than the first time. I thought they had a much better outing at this WrestleMania than they did at 29. You just got to know what to do.
Yeah, I don't understand any of it. I just know when I watch it, it rarely sounds good.
It's so frustrating. It's frustrating as a guy who performs professionally. You know, like Modern saying the drummer was so embarrassing. And I don't blame the drummer. I blame whoever was putting together that performance because they just didn't know what to do. And I don't know. I'd love to speak to that drummer. I'd love to see what the reaction was because, like, you and I talked about it. We'd love to have them come and explain what happened, but it is what it is. NXT ain't got the budget for sure in-ears. They're $80. Screw you. Get those in-ears. The 215s are less than $80. You know what? How much are they right now? I'm going to Amazon. We're going to go to Amazon and we're going to look up the cheapest ones that exist. And there are even cheaper ones than this. SE 215s.
I don't know. Those are just letters to me.
The Shores are one of the better pro ones. 100.
Oh, I thought
Canadian.
Oh, I thought that, you know, it was the way I didn't realize Sure was the brand. I thought Kate was saying NXT ain't got the budget for Sure in years. You know what I mean?
Sure is the brand name. SHURE. Okay. Yes. Right. And you can get $30 ones. I have here. Let me show you. They're somewhere. I've got $30 in-ears somewhere in here. And I love them. And they're great. Anyway, I can't find them.
What are you doing, Joel?
I was looking for my $30 in-ears that I love and that work really well. And you can get those too. The tips might get stuck in your ear, but regardless.
Yeah.
Pull them out with tweezers. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All this to say, it was not a good performance from either man for different reasons. And I don't know what to expect on Sunday other than it feels like Trick's going to win.
Yeah, I've been saying Trick's going to win. Been telling y'all for weeks, maybe even months, that old Trick Willie was going to win.
And if he does, then we're going to have an interesting summer until July when we get to Slammiversary. And I guess Joe wins it back. And I think that's a big match.
It's, I mean, what are the Slammiversary tickets like right now?
I haven't seen them in a while, but I feel like they're still in the 2000s range. Also, remember, they're still, you've got 2 months, so you do need to start working. Going to WrestleTix just to take a look.
It's fine. 2 months. They got plenty of time.
They got to start announcing matches, but they still have this one. They have this show, and then they have the next show. And then they have TV tapings as well to deal with. So, like, I feel like that TV taping in June is going to set most of the field for Slammiversary. I just don't know what the matches are going to be. I'm looking for it. I just can't find it. Slammiversary. Because I haven't seen them report those numbers in a long time. Where are you at? Slammiversary. It helps if I spell it right. From May 8th, they have distributed 2765.
Okay.
They're set up for 4,101.
Okay.
So there's 1,300 tickets available, give or take. That was May 8th. That was a few weeks ago. If Trick winning the title suddenly gets people wanting to buy tickets, then okay, we'll see.
Here's the issue with that. I don't know if they're going to be able to do more than that because, as we saw yesterday, NXT couldn't move numbers for Tampa. And so they're going to the Performance Center instead of Tampa. And if your main event is going to be Trick Williams against Joe Hendry, I don't know if that's really a big match. Like I don't see this event moving too much more unless you give it more juice. Like TNA's at where they're at. Like they've been doing pretty good houses on the building size they've run, and good on them. But they're running a much bigger building, and they've sold what they've sold so far based on the first on sale. Everything moves well immediately, and then it dies down, and then hopefully as you get closer it picks back up a little bit as stuff gets announced. I don't know if they're going to get the boost when stuff gets announced if their big get here is Trick Williams.
I think Eddie also makes a good comment in the chat. Like there was market burnout because that was the fourth show 4 nights in a row for WWE, and that's a lot to expect someone to do. That was when they used to do the PLE weekends in different cities. They would do, SmackDown, the show, they do an NXT show, they do Raw, they would do 4 nights in a row, and by the time you got to SmackDown, because SmackDown was on Tuesday, it would be down to like nobody in the audience. And I think that's what they were looking at here. You can't do 4 nights in a row. What they did for Mania, I mean, once they announced the NXT show at Fontainebleau, like they got 2,000 people allegedly, but I feel like they may have papered a bunch, but I don't know for sure. Regardless, it's a little different going to one standalone show in July in New York versus 4 nights in the same venue doing multiple shows that are bigger than the one that you're presenting, because that NXT TV show, like the PLE didn't get moved. The NXT like Battleground looks like it's going to be fine in terms of attendance. It's just doing an NXT TV show. When you're doing it after a whole slew of other events, this is like the D show. So people were kind of like, I don't think I need to spend on this.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair that there could be some burnouts. I also think that NXT it's going to sell what it's going to sell, right? Like what did like Stand and Deliver did fairly well as for WrestleMania weekend, I believe.
I feel like they were close to 10,000.
Okay.
I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure. And that's not bad.
Yeah, no, 10,000 is really good.
They honestly were, it was 2014 or 2024, I should say. Why don't you have more WrestleTix? What is wrong with you?
Oh, I was looking at Stand and Deliver this year.
No, I know. I am also looking for Stand and Deliver.
Oh, you said 2024.
Because that's what came up in my tweeter.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
I was just seeing if it was on like Wikipedia, but it doesn't say. Oh, you know who might have it is Cage Match. Cage Match has attendance a lot of times.
Boo, WrestleTix. Boo.
My point overall is I don't know if NXT talent is going to be moving tickets like that. That's the overall point. Is I'm just not sure. Trick Williams, WrestleTix has it as Cage Match has it as about 7,000. So there you go. I don't know if NXT talent's just going to be moving a ton of tickets for appearing on a TNA show.
You know that they're going to put these people on the card. And I saw other people in the chat who said Santana versus Trick. And I'm all for that. Again, I still think that should be Santana's crowning moment. And they should absolutely, if they're going to have Trick show up and be the heel that Santana has to come over, I'm fine with that. But I also know that Joe Hendry is still very much part of the TNA machine. And again, I've mentioned this on other shows, and I've said it on my TNA post show. It's Hendry and the Hardys. Those are the three acts that people are paying to see above all else. So they're going to put all their money into the Hendry basket. But I think that Santana versus Trick would be a great show.
They should do a better job putting their money in the Hendry basket with how they book him.
Doesn't matter. They're going to lose Hendry at the end of the year anyway. So it does. It's senioritis. We've talked.
But that's dumb. Of like, we're banking on him to draw people in, but we're also not going to present him in a way that's going to draw people in. Like,
well, talk to their creative.
I would love to. One
of them's on the air right now on Sirius XM. So, yeah, go ahead.
I would love to talk to their creative. I got many ideas, as people watching this show are well aware.
Yeah, I would. Elijah and Trick musical performance. That's the one you want. It's all awful. Did you did see it because I think you wrote the article. The Romy Glazer idea for TNA Plus. So for those who didn't see this, Romy had pitched an idea about season tickets for TNA Plus plans, and she had tweeted this out a few days ago. But the idea was you pay $160 annually for TNA Plus, which is the streaming service that TNA has that shows the PLE, not the PLEs, but the Plus shows, the TV show, and all that, and you get the back catalog, all that, and then you get 2 GA tickets to every TNA event that year, which is incredible. If you can do it, and if you're someone who goes to all the shows, and there are people who do that. So 2 complimentary GA tickets, part of the plan. Go if you can. If not, leave them at will call for a friend. Build community, fill seats, convert first timers through fan referrals, and create a new VIP network in every city. And then she mentioned the business cases and like why it's good and why there are risks involved as well. On its head, I personally really like the idea because TNA has been trying to figure out new ways to get the name out there and also disturb the way that wrestling does business. This was different, and when I read this, I was quite surprised by it. Didn't find a PowerPoint for it, but I'm sure I could just reach out to Romy and be like, "Do you have one? And will it look good?" So instead, I saw it and I was like, $160 annually for TNA Plus, and you get those tickets. That's pretty good. I don't know. It says every TNA event that year, so I have to assume that includes the pay-per-views. But regardless, This is a company that needs to fill venues, and they're not hurting to do it. They're doing pretty well this year. Don't get me wrong. But the idea that your TNA Plus subscription could include some sort of live event experience, I think that goes a long way. I'd love to see that or something like that implemented in companies maybe like TNA or MLW or even on the indies. You can do that. So I wanted to get your thoughts because I personally liked where it was going. I think it had some wheels.
I thought it was great. I thought it was something different, which we don't see a ton of different ideas when it comes to wrestling and how to move tickets and everything. And this is, hey, you get a TNA Plus subscription, which is cool, and basically you get tickets to events, and if you can't use those tickets, you can leave them for friends. Like, it's a good way to potentially get other people interested as well. If we're all wrestling fans watching this, I assume, hopefully not, but we all live in different parts of the world, right? Like, there's a TNA show that they're coming to Toronto this week, or where it's Toronto, right?
Brampton, it's Toronto, it's the same thing.
Okay. Like, let's say I had a TNA Plus subscription. I'm not going to Toronto to go to the show until Joel, like, hey, use my tickets for the show. Again, we got friends all over the world who, maybe if one of us has a TNA Plus subscription, hey, do you want to go to the show? Like, you can just use my tickets. Or if somebody's looking for a night out, like, what do you want to do? Then they might not be your friend anymore if you say, hey, go to a TNA show, you can get free tickets on me. But I thought it was a fascinating idea. I don't know, the way she laid it out was very good. It made it seem like it was going to work, and there were positives to it. you know, a lot of these things sound better in theory than once they're put into motion, and then there become complications that arise because there's stuff you're just not thinking about, or people try to use loopholes on things. So maybe something like that would have popped up, but for what was presented on paper, like it looked really good.
Yeah, she mentioned we were always asking, how do we sell out GA? How do we fill buildings with raucous loyal fans? How do we keep the flywheel spinning? Which I thought was funny. This was one answer. The biggest risk, she said, was too many free GA seats going to super fans and their friends who had annual subs, and suddenly you need bigger venues. Oops. I'm like, I don't think that's not bad, but it's not great. Yeah, they said the math worked, and it was a fan-first, community-powered, growth-aligned idea. TNA fans deserve this one, still do. Well, I don't know if they're going to go for it, but instead, at least I think it was worth putting the idea out there because it has, like I said, it has legs, it has wheels, whatever saying you want. But that was one I noticed, and I was like, oh, that's different. Just giving 2 tickets alone, and then saying like, if you can't have them, give them off to someone else. I think there's merit to doing something like that.
Yeah.
Someone asking him this. So go ahead.
So we'll see if they actually decide to go forward with it, or if somebody else decides to potentially use it.
Yeah. Someone asking if I was surprised TNA wasn't part of Worlds Collide, and do I see them being added at some point? I know TNA wrestlers have been wanting to be part of this, or at least do a NXT TNA Worlds Collide show directly. But they're in LA. They're in Luchik territory. It makes more sense because they just acquired AAA that they're going to do just those 2 companies. And that's kind of where I'm at with that.
It is very funny that they talked about TNA and doing Worlds Collide, and then they get AAA, and it's like, yeah, we're doing it with them, not you guys. Sorry.
I don't think they ever really planned to do a Worlds Collide. I think that, like I said, I think the wrestlers wanted to do it.
Yes,
but they never really talked about doing it.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, I know the wrestlers talked about it, but yeah, it was never a thing that WWE had mentioned, but the wrestlers certainly had mentioned it.
Well, the wrestlers, of course, the wrestlers want to wrestle and get exposure on a larger scale. I kind of get it. And Troy mentioning, AEW is going to Mexico, so WWE has to counter it. I mean, you're not entirely wrong. It's true. They're going to go do Grand Slam Mexico, and hopefully it's a successful show. And the WWE is going to do the AAA show at noon on a Saturday. And then they're going to go across town and do another show.
It's going to be a busy day.
That's like 2 weeks after this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, this weekend's busy too.
Yeah, this weekend's already nuts. I don't know. Once people started pointing out, like, it's TNA on Friday. I've got the TV tapings on Saturday, at least I think, and there's Saturday night's main event, and there's AEW, and there's Battleground. Obviously, SmackDown's on Friday as well. There's a lot going on. It's crazy.
Yes.
So don't watch any of it. Show these wrestling companies that they don't deserve your business. Is there anything else from NXT that we need to talk about?
Other stuff happened. I don't know what actually happened though.
The video segments from Jordan Grace and Stephanie Vaquer.
Okay, what about
those? Were fine. I don't know. There wasn't much. There really wasn't much. The triple threat, yeah, that was good to open up. You had oh my god, Javon Evans and Sean Legacy and Ashante the Adonis. It's good. I mean, listen, everyone had eyes on Sean Legacy, got the shock win, which I also said he was going to win, but it looked like he had a really good showing, and you're all of this in service of doing Ethan Page versus Ricky Staines again next week.
Yeah, doing that next week and not at the pay-per-view is a little curious. I don't know why they just wouldn't put that on the pay-per-view. Like, I guess when they thought the show, like, I feel bad for Ricky and Ethan, because if they were still doing it at the England Center, that's one thing. It's like, oh, you're still going to wrestle in the big venue, and like, it's cool. But then and I'm sure that was their idea when they originally were going to have it for next week. It's like, oh, it's fine. Like, you're instead going to carry the TV show instead of getting lost on the pay-per-view. It's the same venue. Like, don't worry about it. But now, like, you're just wrestling back at the Performance Center, and like, I think that kind of sucks for them.
Again, it's just like the TLC match on SmackDown. If you put it on WrestleMania card, yes, it's great, but it's not. It doesn't get the standouts that it could potentially have.
It's different though. Like, I agree with that. That's what I mentioned. That, yeah, them being on the television show, they might be able to stand out a little bit more. But they were going to be on the television show still at a bigger arena. Now they're wrestling where they wrestle every single week. So it doesn't feel like that doesn't help it stand out. It stands out if it's on the TV show that's still in a good size arena. It doesn't stand out if it's in the Performance Center where they hold the show every single week. Like, it's not like the guys who missed WrestleMania, they were wrestling at the Performance Center. They still wrestled in a pretty big arena on a SmackDown show in a main event. So you can, that match still should have been on WrestleMania. You could have moved things around. You could have still given them enough time. But I understand, you get to stand out. But yeah, you're still wrestling in an arena. You're not wrestling at the Performance Center.
I get
where
it.
They're at every week.
Well, that's where they're going to stay every week at this rate. Unless they go for those random one-offs. Yeah, like you said, it was the original idea was probably that those two would main event the Youngling Center show on the Tuesday. That got pulled earlier in the day on Tuesday. So they didn't want to pivot, which in this case, I don't think they need to pivot based on how the card's already set for Battleground. You could argue that you could take the North American women's title match and put that on the TV show and instead swap the North American men's title match. But I don't think you really need to. I think NXT likes to put more women on the card, especially on a weekend where the Saturday night's main event has 0 women's matches announced. So I think they'd rather keep the optics not looking the same compared to main roster. Maybe that's part of it. Instead, you'll get Ricky versus Ethan on Tuesday and you will watch it. I didn't say you'll like it. You'll watch it.
Or I won't.
Or you won't.
Watch it. Will I watch it, Joel?
That's on the CW. Millions of people watch the CW.
I hate the CW.
I mean, I'm on Netflix. It rules.
I hate it. They don't have, like, their app sucks. They don't have like a live feed for their app. So I can't watch it on their app.
Never realized that. But I've also never had to worry about it.
Yeah, I don't watch it on CW because I don't have they don't have a live feed. Like, I would. That's how I would watch it, but they don't have a live feed, so I watch it through other means.
You just watch it on Netflix. Turn on a VPN, go to Canada, and watch it on Netflix.
I don't have a VPN.
Oh, Jeremy, it's almost as if we have a deal with the company.
I don't get any of that.
That's fair. Have you considered getting? Have you considered one of the competition that give out free data for these things? Another time. Yes,
not to watch NXT. I don't care that much.
My God, I once had to do that in Vegas for an episode of SmackDown, and I was like, I wasted all of my free data, like my free VPN data, to watch that SmackDown, and it was not good.
Yeah,
very upsetting. That was a hard to kill weekend 2 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. I've never had to deal with it. Netflix has been pretty good for that stuff. So there you go. Is there anything else in NXT? That was it. People were like, we're surprised you talked about NXT that long. We took a big, long detour into TNA world for that.
Yeah, that was worse.
One might argue it was.
It's way worse.
Yep. Oh, man. I can get NordVPN working thanks to Fightful. Oh, no one's holding out on anybody. All right. What's next? Is there anything from Raw? What did you guys talk about yesterday other than basketball?
Basketball and more.
Halliburton and Brunson, one-on-one, my way or the highway. Triple H being like, we wrote this thing.
They're gonna book that match. They're 100%.
They're sure shit gonna try.
Going to. I think Halliburton wants to do it. I think Brunson will want to do it. They're gonna get that match for SummerSlam.
Do you think it'll be a one-on-one, or you think it'll be a tag?
No, it'll be a tag. They'll have to
I think
protect them. Like they'll get in the ring together. It'll be like Rodman and Malone, like when WCW pulled that off. Yeah, I think that's a big deal. And I know I'm with you guys who are like, why are they taking credit for everything? Can you leave a little bit of mystery with this stuff? I've seen that. And like, I don't disagree, because it does become too much. I know Grapsody likes to call them the credit boys, and that's 100% true. It does become too much of like, look what we've done. Praise us. We booked this. I booked this. I don't actually want credit for this. I don't want to be on television, but also please praise me for this decision. Can't wait to see where John Cena's heel turn is going to go. Like, all right, dude. Just present the television show. And
with the pop culture zeitgeist, we really love that Donald Trump guy too. He's got good heat. He's really good at that.
Just give me just do your wrestling show. So when they do the stuff of like, we booked the Eastern Conference Finals, like, okay, sure, but let's not pretend like it's not a big deal that these guys are in the Eastern Conference Finals. The NBA is still, outside of the NFL, like the biggest ratings draw on cable. Like it is. And these Eastern Conference Finals are probably going to draw pretty well, because it's a New York market as well. Like you got the Knicks involved, and people are going to tune in because the Knicks are involved. The star power, SP3 and I had the superstar conversation yesterday. You don't have LeBron, you don't have Steph, you don't have like the mainstays of yesteryear in there, but you got four guys who are the next up guys, and you have the New York market. They're going to draw well. So it is a big deal that it's Brunson, Halliburton, and they just did a WWE angle less than a year ago. And if they can get them in a match, that's a big deal, coming off of an Eastern Conference Finals, back-to-back playoff series against each other. Like I thought it was a bigger deal than was kind of reported or talked about last year. The fact that they just did like an angle because they just had a playoff series against each other. I was like, oh, this is cool. They actually get to do a match. It's a big deal.
Mello and Brunson versus Miz and Halliburton.
Mello and Brunson against Miz and Halliburton. I don't know.
They showed Miz and Halliburton with their tag team bullshit on screen on Monday.
Okay.
When Miz had Halliburton holding Miz's tag title after
Mello's the babyface?
I guess so, or I don't know how they'll do that.
Well, they're in New York, New Jersey, so Brunson's the babyface there.
So Mello's the babyface.
Yeah, you have to babyface Mello in that.
It's fine. I'm sure people would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Don't ask if WWE has New York talent, because they'll just bury them anyway. Make Cardi be the ref. That's the real plan.
Yeah,
that'd be great. You could go all out. Make this real weird. Indiana is basically West Ohio. That is factual. That is true. So I think we got it. I think it's going to be. We'll lock it in here. It's SummerSlam. It's The Miz and Tyrese Halliburton versus Mello and Jalen Brunson.
I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to be able to pull it off. Honestly, if they can't pull it off, I will bury the company for not being able to get it done. Because as much as they've talked, as much as they've promoted it, you've got to be able to deliver on it at this point. You can't just take credit for the Eastern Conference Finals and doing the confrontation last year and then not pay it off in your world. You know what I mean? Like, oh, but they played basketball against each other. That's where, their expertise are. That's where the professionals at. Like, yeah, but it's not like that was scripted. I mean, for some people it might be scripted, but it's not like they knew that was going to happen. You guys are taking credit for all of this. You guys have teased all of this. You guys are putting them in the game. You're putting merchandise on their site. Like, if you got to pay it off in your world at this point. Otherwise, that's the stuff that looks lame to me, is like, look what we did, but it's elsewhere. We just want to reap the benefits of this when we didn't actually do anything to give you this. Like, they did it because of their hard work on the basketball court and their teams in basketball. Like, you got to pay it off in your world if you're going to push it this hard.
I'm just looking at the NBA key dates for next year. Obviously, nothing's really out there other than the preseason games in Abu Dhabi, and that's October. So I don't know when camps would start or anything like that, but that obviously
camps don't start until like September.
So you're in mid-August, or no? It's beginning of August for SummerSlam this year. I think it's August 1st and 2nd.
I'll double check.
Yeah,
it's August 2nd and 3rd.
Okay, so
SummerSlam is the time to do it. There's no Olympics, because I think they had a shot at it last year if there wasn't the Olympics. But Halliburton was on Team USA for the Olympics, so he wasn't going to do it. I think they had a shot at it if there wasn't the Olympics. There's no Olympics. They would be in training because basketball players are always in training. You know, the finals are going to wrap mid-June, because one of them is obviously going to be in the finals. That's going to wrap mid-June. Players take a few weeks off, vacation, all that stuff. If they win a title, they're obviously going to celebrate that. So they're probably back in training and stuff by mid-July, we'll say. So yeah, they'll be training, getting ready for the season, but there's no camp or anything in August. August is like the dead period with the NBA, because free agency's beginning of July. The draft is end of June. Yet by August, most free agents have signed. Trades have kind of gone down. All the NBA is crazy, and trades go down like a day before training camps open. But August is like the dead period when it comes to basketball. So they're going to try. And if they don't do it, they're a bunch of failures.
Disrespecting the G League like that, I can't believe you.
Sorry, G League.
How dare you? Well, we'll see where it plays out. I absolutely despise this idea. Halliburton, Melo, and Miz versus Brunson, Aleister Black, and Joe Hendry. There's no reason for this. There is no reason to do any of this. Oh, that being said, let's do it so that I can cry a little bit. If they didn't have Jey Uso as a champion, they would do Halliburton and Jay. We got Tyrese Halliburton.
I don't know if Jay's going to be the champion. I don't know if Jay's going to be the champion come SummerSlam.
Are you under the impression that Jay's going to be cashed in on at that Raw where presumably Gunther and Jay are going for the world title?
Potentially. It could also just be Jay loses the title to Gunther on that night. Like, I don't know if he's going to hold it till SummerSlam. That's my point.
You might. I mean, I get it. Jay is such a weird figure in WWE lore because fans clearly love the dude, and they've clearly bought in on him as a character. I think a lot of people have seen that he's not the best wrestler, so to speak. And I don't know. I've said this a million times, and other wrestlers have talked about this. Your first world title is never a good one. It's never the one you remember. And I think either Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre, one of those two had mentioned that. It may have been Priest. But regardless, it's like Jay losing and then maybe setting up to go after the title later next year or something. There's room for that there. So maybe Jey Uso does lose the title in June, and then maybe we're looking at it's going to be Halliburton and Uso versus Brunson and who knows who. Aleister Black. Joe Hendry. Can either of these guys sing?
I hope not. I don't want to hear them try if they can.
Only one way to find out.
No.
Oh, okay. Graves is saying they're building up Seth to win it at SummerSlam. I don't know. I don't know yet. Money in the Bank is starting to heat up. There are people in the matches. Not on the Raw side, though. Did anyone qualify on Raw? Like from the men's side?
From the men? No, they didn't do a men's match on Raw.
They only did the 2 women's qualifiers.
Yeah.
And shout out to Zoe Stark. Hope she's okay. That was a gnarly gnarly injury. Hope she's okay. That wasn't fun to watch. Yeah, Solo Sikoa is the only one who's gotten in for the men, and then on the women's side, you got Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley. There was some talk that maybe Zoe was supposed to go over in that match, but nothing's been confirmed. So I think maybe once that report comes out, we'll see.
Really?
Yeah, Sean had mentioned it on the post show. He didn't say that it was the case. He just said that it's something he's looking into as a possibility. That Zoe was supposed to win. So he said he would have an update if that was the case. So far, we haven't heard anything. So I don't think I'm talking out of school. It was mentioned on the Raw post show. Whether or not it's true, that's up to Sean and his reporting.
Okay. I assume she was in that match to take the loss.
So there was part of me that thought yes, but there was another part of me that thought like they were playing it up as this is Zoe's chance to rebrand herself and redo it. And Bargoff saying that he thinks Sean said that Zoe was supposed to take the pin. So if that's the case, there was part of me that thought maybe Zoe could have won the match because they were trying to something new with her. They were trying to give her something fresh because she just lost her stablemates and her group is basically done. So this would have been her opportunity. So it is.
Yeah, people are saying that Sean said she was supposed to take the pin, which
that's what I said.
No, you said she was going over.
I said the correction part too.
Okay. Yeah, let's not put out there that there was talk she was going over.
She should have.
That's not what was said.
She should have won. The pin and the win when you're listening at 2.25 speed are the same thing.
And her taking the pin makes a whole lot more sense because that's what it seemed like she was there for. I don't think they wanted to pin Rhea, and I don't think they wanted to pin Kyrie on her first night back. And Zoe seemed to be in that match for, hey, you can take the loss here. But then, of course, they had to change plans because Zoe unfortunately suffered an injury.
Should have sent her to the moon. Could have won that match. Pinned Rhea Ripley. Could have pinned the returning Kyrie Sane instead. But no, cowards. No, she's got to eat the pin. No, she doesn't. Nobody has to do anything. It's like Jey Uso. He could have beat Braun Breaker. That would have been fine.
Nah, they got to do their DQ finishes. They love those.
You got to get ready to just let people lose. I promise you. Either of those people losing in a non-title match would not have hurt. Very frustrating.
I think it would have hurt. I think it would have hurt Jay if he's the champion and losing. People already look at him as like, oh, he's not a worthy champion. So losing to Braun Breaker doesn't help that perception.
But he's the underdog. He's always been the underdog. Let him lose. Let him lose, then he can beat that big old loser Logan Paul.
There's a difference.
WWE in Japan tour in 2025.
There's a difference between being an underdog and being a loser. And when you're the champion, you're not really the underdog. I don't care what I don't care if that's how they try to make the perception. It's not the case. You're the champion. No, you're not the underdog. So if you lose, you're just a loser. And then Braun, they obviously want to protect because they apparently have an idea with this faction. I don't know what it is. I think that this faction has lost a lot of steam already, and they need something to pick it back up. But I understand they're trying to protect Braun. So that was always going to be a DQ finish. They don't have to book this match, mind you. They don't. They can book something else. They could have booked something where somebody else went over. But this is the match they decided to book, and that was the finish they decided to book.
It was dumb. Don't need to book it. Either have Braun eat a loss and learn from it, because that's what Braun does, or don't do the match. There was no reason. Like someone in the chat saying Paul Heyman said Braun wasn't there to take the title, but to soften him up for Seth. It doesn't matter. You still book a match where the winner and loser are part of it.
That's where I would have said Braun beat the shit out of Jay a bit more than like he actually did. Because I didn't feel that got accomplished either. That, he got softened up for Seth. Well, Seth ain't facing Jay anytime soon. Logan Paul is next. But that's what I would have done more. Instead of Seth was the one that came in and jumped him and got the DQ. So This just didn't accomplish anything. It was a match to do a match to set up the ending brawl, and it just come up with better ideas, man. I would have much preferred if Jay was like doing well and Braun was getting frustrated because Jay was proving himself to actually be a good champion. And then Heyman, Seth, and Braun are like, you know what, fuck this. The whole point of this is we're here to beat the shit out of you. It's not about winning and losing. So you know what we're going to do? We're just going to grab chairs and we're going to start walloping you. That's what they did. Like, people would still be mad that it's a DQ finish, which I don't disagree with, but this is what they booked. But at least then you serve your purpose of, oh yeah, their whole goal was just to soften them up. How do you soften them up? Just beat them down with a chair. And then Punk and Sammy make the save and you get the big brawl. And then you can still do Jay valiantly gets to his feet after being walloped with a chair a bunch of times. And then Logan knocks him out.
Should have just announced Anarchy in the arena for Saturday night's main event. 5-on-5. It's just, it's not. I don't know who it helps to announce these matches and then just do a DQ finish every single time. There's no need for it. There's no reason for it. You can say it's going to soften them up. That's fine. It's still stupid. Someone should win, someone should lose. And you've made it a trope that every week you got to do these DQ finishes. So what? You can have someone come out and sing the song. It doesn't need to happen. Just have someone win. Have someone lose. It's okay. No one's gonna be buried. Everyone sucks here. That shit doesn't exist. Here on the internet where people might say it doesn't really, it's not what happens in the arenas. I don't know why they seem to have these like this feeling in their head that they can't just finish a match. Finish the match and then do your idea of the chair shots, the beatdowns. At least have a 1, 2, 3, and then just quickly run to some sort of moment like the one that happened.
Well, Joel.
In fact, Braun Breaker should be extra pissed that he drops the fall, that he loses, that he then goes after Jey Uso and they do the thing. Like, that could have done something like that.
You want them to finish the match, Joel. In WWE, the match never finishes.
Talk to Curtis Axel about it.
It was this group just doesn't got juice for me right now. Great pop for CM Punk though. Huge pop.
They sang that damn song all the way out.
Yeah, they ruined the moment. I'm gonna criticize Phil and Sammy here because the crowd's singing the song and it's great. I don't know the lyrics like that. Sorry to Living Color.
Well, it's look in my eyes. What do you see?
Yeah, cult of personality. I
know your anger.
I know your dreams.
I be everything you want to be. I'm the cult of
yes. Okay. So they get to the I be everything you want to be, and the crowd's clearly juiced for this. They're jacked. They're singing, and the next line is I'm the cult of personality. Everyone knows that line, right? And they get in the ring at when the crowd is going to hit that line, and so the crowd doesn't hit the line because then they're just reacting to the brawl. They should have held off a tick. That's my criticism. They should have held off a tick until the crowd once again came up for I'm the cult of personality, and then you get in the ring and start brawling. Thought they missed the opportunity there.
Whoa, that's all you really needed. Oh, people just need to sing that one. Where's he at? Where's the quarterback?
He's not the QB anymore. He got benched.
Oh, son of a bitch. They don't bench people in WWE. They just hire them 3 months later.
He took himself out. He was like, I can't play. Can't do it.
My God.
I lost to John Cena. Travis Scott made me look like a fool. I got kicked in the dick. I can't do it anymore. I'm done. I gotta be out, coach. Put QB2 in, put QB3 in, run a trick play where the wide receivers throw in the ball.
Sorry, what was that about trick?
No.
When do you think Cody comes back? Is it Saturday night's main event or is he going to come back next week?
I don't care. I'm not Steven Jensen. I don't care when Cody comes back.
If he has Jensen, it's every week. Every week is Cody Rhodes returns week. Unless there's a bet to be had at a casino somewhere. By the way, no spotlight tomorrow. Steven Jensen's going to a casino for his birthday.
Good for him. I respect it.
Happy soon to be birthday to the one and only Steven Jensen.
I
Everyone's
respect
birthdays at Fightful are around this time. It's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Well, that's the way it goes. Someone asked me if I was going to go to All Out. I know you guys put the news out. All Out's coming to Toronto this year, September 20th. That's something that's happening. Will I go? Probably. I probably will, to be honest with you, because it's a night out and because I can boo everything that I see. But also, I can go and I can make my case for water bottles at the press conference.
Oh, God.
All oots.
I hope everyone gets a water bottle but you. I hope there's water bottles on every single chair and they assign the media members chairs in the press conference. And then you have your chair and there's no water there, but everyone else gets one. And then if there's like an empty chair because someone didn't show up or they just, they overcapacitated. Is that a word? Who cares?
I don't think that's the word.
It is now. They overcapacitated the press conference with chairs. And there's just like a row of chairs with water bottles. You're not allowed to grab one. A sensor goes off. It like explodes in your hand. It's like a Inspector Gadget. This message will self-destruct. That's what happens if you try to take one of the water bottles. Or like spikes come out of the water bottle if like it's your hands on it.
I go to sit down and it's my seat. There's no water there. And I just say, hey, why did everyone else get water? And RJ City just walks up to me and flips me the bird and says, you know why? Fuck you.
That would be great, actually. It also be good. Tony Khan comes in there. He's like, I got a big surprise for everybody. Everyone look under your chair. And you get a water bottle. And you get a water bottle. And you, but not you, Joel Pearl. Fucker. You don't get shit.
It's a water bottle filled with corn on the cob. I can't believe y'all remember this from 2 years ago.
It's an empty water bottle. I do like the corn, though. Can you fit like corn on the cob in a water bottle? I guess technically.
You gotta take the corn and like put the kernels individually in the water bottle.
Also, so this water bottle, let me make sure I'm not going to spill my water. Hold on. Let me drink a little bit more.
All right. Don't just go that. Yeah. Yeah. I'll ask Tony. Tony, hi. Joel Pearl Fightful. Where's my water bottle? Great question. Then he goes a 20-minute diatribe about how all the wrestlers were hydrated at this.
So like this water bottle, everyone sees it, but then like the top comes off here.
Oh, I always wondered how you filled it. Okay.
Yeah, well, I fill it through
like a normal person.
Yeah. But like, so the top can come off. So like you can stick, I don't know if my wife is listening to this. I don't know if we have corn on the cob that she's willing to part with to stick inside this water bottle here to see if the bit works.
It's like 20 cents a stock on sale right now. So you should probably get one.
I don't know. Oh, there you go. So you can put like corn on the cob on inside the water bottle. So yeah, I hope they do that to you.
I hope they don't. I'll find out this weekend if they took my let's see if they took my my idea under advisement. I have people who will be in the room and I will be asking about the water situation. They're in Phoenix, they're in the desert. You want to make sure that this group of highly regarded professional wrestling media people, even I tried, they're properly hydrated.
We like people who are going on this show. I have no idea who's going on this show, but I assume there are people that
there's one. There's one. Chris Jericho's biggest fan will be there.
Oh, okay. I assume Denise Salcedo will be there. It's West Coast, so
it feels like it.
Yeah.
Denise also like doesn't always go. She's been sending
Alex. Yeah.
So it's very possible that she just does that, which like honestly, smart.
Well, yeah, but Alex, she went to, what was it, the last show? Backlash, right?
Yeah.
Alex went, where was Backlash at?
St. Louis.
Yeah, so that was kind of more Midwest. And Alex is from New York, I believe.
It's still not an easy flight. I think they're equidistant.
Yeah, it's not, but it's not quite as bad as Los Angeles. So it feels like Denise will be there. But maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea.
This is because Denise has gotten smart to just making her money on doing live stream, like doing watch-alongs. Yeah. So I think just like Sean, like there's no reason, like Sean tells us all the time, there's no reason for him to be there other than to show face sometimes, or because it's Toronto and he loves Toronto.
Right. I mean, that's true. Like the AEW like weekends aren't that big for media. There's They don't do scrums. They don't do like a ton of like in-person talent interviews. You're basically showing up so you can ask a question at the press conference. And is that really worth all the time and money and travel to ask one or two questions at a press conference? Like, you're probably like, yeah, Shauna said it, like, we don't get any money out of that because it's not like we can monetize the press conference, because they stream it themselves. So we don't get anything out of that. And okay, we ask one or two questions, like, is that worth what we're spending on it? And the answer typically is no. Yeah, Denise gets her money through the live streams and everything. So what good is it if she just gets asked a question or two at the press conference if she doesn't get any other interviews or contacts? Like, it makes sense if it's close by, right? That's why I just wondered, like, Arizona, Los Angeles, maybe it's close by and something there. But like, if it's not within driving distance or, you know, an easy flight, what's the point?
Yeah, it's like, if I'm going, it's because I live in town and I can go. WrestleMania for me was a different beast because it was just an opportunity to do it. Sean wasn't going, so I went, and it's Mania. So there was that. Yeah, I think my plan is to go. Honestly, I like the idea of going to the majors at least once a year. Go to a WWE event, go to an AEW event, go to a TNA show. If MLW ever came here, I'd probably go to a show in Toronto. But as of right now, yeah, my plan is to go to All Out. My plan is to be there representing Fightful, or at least overbooked. That's the other thing too. Compared to WWE, they will let me and Sean in, or they'll let Sean in and me. Like, there won't be as much pushback to how many people from Fightful arrive at the event.
All right, I'm asking Chris Jericho's biggest fan. Okay, yeah, she's going to Double or Nothing. I'm gonna tell her to ask so I can get the pencil for ROH.
Oh yeah, you should probably do that. No, she is going. We were talking last night.
All right, I'm saying, ask Tony to give me the ROH pencil. Said no, coward.
Kate, you're welcome to crash on my proper bed this time if you happen to come in for the show. My child might wake you up in the morning at 6:30, but otherwise you're welcome to join.
I'm
Go ahead.
Oh, very curious. We don't have corn on the cob. My wife has confirmed, but she just messages, I can bring you something else absurd. Like, what?
Well, it's long.
All right, folks, what can I fit in this water bottle?
Do you want to know? That's a dragon. Ryan asking if the NWA went to Toronto, would I go? I would consider it. Again, free tickets are free tickets. And it's a night off or night outs. That's why I'm going to TNA in Brampton. Hot dogs. It's just lots of hot dogs.
Hot dogs. All right. Let's see if we have hot dogs. We'll just stick a bunch of hot dogs in this thing.
It's a rabbit. No, those things can trip out in water. You don't want to do that. It's a Hitachi. What is this? It's awful. Oh man. You gonna get something?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
So we'll go to NWA to redo the cocaine spot.
Hell yeah.
If he gets them back on TV, I'd help. That's what I would do, just for the NWA. Be a real fan and supporting them. Pay for your NWA.
I want to go to Real American Wrestling Freestyle in Cleveland at the end of August. I'm like 90% sure this show ain't actually going to happen. But if it does, I legitimately want to go to it. I don't want to pay for it, mind you. I don't want to do that at all. But I want to go to it, and I want to experience. I might not leave there. I have to wear a red hat to fit in something. And
you can wear a black one. You can wear a black one.
Yeah. I want to make sure I make it out of there alive. But
You got a UFC hat? You can get those at your local
I
Walmart.
might have a UFC hat, actually. I got a UFC shirt somewhere.
There you go. That's all you need.
I got signed one. Yeah, I got signed one. Yeah.
Then you just gotta say bro a lot.
I've got a Hulk Hogan shirt somewhere too.
Don't do that. Don't waste your time on that one. I've still got a signed NWO Hogan flag that I want to give away. And then all the money goes towards the NAACP or literally anything
I like
else.
that. I like that idea.
I'm waiting till he dies because God knows he signs everything under the water. So it's not like his signature is worth much.
Fair. No, people know or don't know. Like, as a kid, I was a Hulk Hogan fan growing
A lot
up.
of people were.
Yeah. So I still have a red and yellow shirt out there somewhere. I don't know. It might be at my parents' house now. I have no idea if it's where it actually is at this point. But yeah, kids are dumb.
Boy, howdy. Cyclops' Wolverine saying the third man reveal really made Jeremy a fan.
I don't ever. Who was the third man? I forgot his damn name.
Is he something? Not Moreno.
Izzy Martinez, right?
Martinez?
Yeah, isn't that it?
Is he?
Pretty sure it's Izzy Martinez.
I don't think it's Izzy Martinez. Is he?
Oh, I think I'm right.
Hold on. Yeah, it is Martinez. You're right.
Yeah,
Israel
see,
Martinez. Okay.
Don't doubt me.
Sometimes I doubt you.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Sometimes
I'm
you're
very
right.
smart.
Well, now you're just giving yourself undue credit.
Sting was my guy growing up. Like, Sting was 100%. But I liked all the baby faces though. So I was a much bigger Sting fan than a Hogan fan. Like, I like Savage. Like, basically any of the baby faces I was supporting. So yeah. But yeah, I have a Hogan shirt somewhere around here. I don't know. Maybe I'll be like we talked about on Monday's show. I'll burn it and then get a bit out of it if nothing else.
Burn it, pee on it, wear it again. The usual.
Not gonna do all that. Like,
Just burn it. It's fine.
It still seems like a waste of money to like burn it, though. Like, I don't want to perpetuate that culture of burning clothes. I'd rather just like give it away.
Yeah.
Somebody can use it. If somebody else wants to burn it or cut it up, then that's their prerogative. But I'd at least like to, give it away and then they can do what they want with it. But at least I feel better about here. If you find use of this, maybe it'll keep you warm.
Sure.
By burning it and you start a fire.
Oh, there we go. Maple Leaf Pro and Battle Arts are working together now.
Good for them.
Battle Arts Academy is Santino's school, so that's what happens when you got Scott D'Amore and the other guy, Anthony Corelli, working together. So good for them. I just saw that. Good stuff. Yeah. I have not trashed anything. I just give it away. That's what I usually do. I don't burn it. We talked about it on Monday. Leaf stuff, if you got it, just give it away. Give it to the other fans that'll be sad next year.
Did you see the video? They had Cope sitting rinkside for Game 7.
I heard about this.
And he was mic'd up. Like, that ruled.
I got to see this.
So it's very funny. Like, he's not like as animated as you would like hope him to be and everything, but it's very funny. He's there with like a I don't know who the other Leafs fan is, but the best part is the end, and they're talking about like all the fans are leaving and like they should stick around and show the team support for like the great season and everything. Like, it's sad that they're leaving. And Cope's like, yeah. And this dude is trying to be like supportive and everything. And he's like, this was such a good season. It was such a fun season. And Cope's like, this was the most like such a fun season. Like, it was like one of the most fun Leaf seasons. And you can see the pain in his eyes as he is just saying, yeah, such a fun season, because that's like the biggest Cope, that not Adam Copeland. It's like the biggest cope as a sports fan. Like when your team loses, it's just like, you know what though? We had a good season. We had a fun season. Like, dude, you guys lost in the second round again. I'm saying this is my team ain't done shit the past 3 years. We're losing in the first or second round. If I'm saying at the end of the first round or the second round, like, you know what? It was a fun season, though. We had a lot of fun this season. I'm lying through my teeth. Absolute lie and bullshit of a fun season. Like the Sens might have had a fun season, right, Joel? You didn't have much expectations coming into the year. Like you did well. That might have been a fun season.
Yeah, we were excited to be in the playoffs, and our expectations were more, this is a growth experience. And if they won, that would have been great. But no one was like, yeah, they're going all the way, brother. Like that was not happening.
Like the Thunder in 2016, 2017, Kevin Durant, fuck him, he left. And Russell Westbrook had one of the most amazing individual seasons of all time. Like that was a fun season. We lost in the first round. We were always going to lose in the first round. It was still it still sucked that we lost in the first round, but we were always going to lose in the first round. But like that was a fun season because there was no expectations for that. The fun seasons are the expectation, or the seasons where you have no expectations and you overperform. Those are fun seasons. When you are on year 8 of this core, I don't even know if it's that long, but it feels like it. When you're on year 8 of this core and you can't get out of the second round, these seasons aren't fun. Not when this team is expected to compete for a championship and you can't get out of the second round. Again, I'm saying this as my team is expected to compete for a championship the past few years, and we can't get out of the second round. I would have said if OKC had lost game 7 to Denver, you would not be, I would have, killed myself, but you would not have heard me on Monday say, you know what though? It was a fun season. We won 68 games. We were a historically great regular season team. And it was a fun season, even though we lost to game 7 at home. No, there's nothing fun about that. Absolutely not. Cyclops better than Wolverine asking, was the last time I had fun watching Panthers? End of last season was actually fun. Bryce Young kind of turned it around. There was no real expectations. We played like Philly and Kansas City and a couple other teams like really tough, and we could have won if our defense didn't completely suck or if guys didn't like drop passes. Like the end of last season was actually fun. I actually think this season might be one of those fun seasons because there's no real expectations for the team. No one expects them to make the playoffs or anything. So it's one of those, like, if we overperform, it'll be fun. And if we suck again, well, we've sucked the last few years. It'll be more disappointing than anything. But this has fun season potential. Now, when you got expectations, fun seasons don't exist. They just don't.
Mike Pongrass was who Copeland was with.
Oh, okay, sure.
And the man, you know what? Adam Copeland was just living up to his gimmick, brother. Cope. That was all it was. It was just him coping with the loss of the Maple Leafs for another season. He's not even a Leafs fan anyway. What does he care?
Cope?
He's not a Leafs fan. No, come on. Christian's a big Tampa fan. So is Cope. He likes to put it on for the playoffs.
Why would you put that on for the playoffs? That's the worst time to do it.
He's just like my dad was, where my dad, bless that man, grew up in Toronto, lived in Ottawa more time than he lived in Toronto, kept telling everyone, I'm a Sens fan, but when the Sens lost, suddenly he was a Leafs fan. Cope's going to do the same shit. Suddenly he's the biggest Tampa Bay fan he ever saw.
I will 100% slander Cope. Everyone knows that. I'm shocked I'm not blocked by him because I don't do it online, like on social media. I do it yeah.
You do it in places where people don't watch.
Right. I will slander Cope. Everyone knows. I cannot say he's not a Leafs fan. This man is on Leafs radio every other week during the regular season, not just the playoffs. He's on every other day in the playoffs, but he's on the Leafs radio every other week talking about the team. He goes to the games. He wears the jersey. He inspired them to have like the title and everything. No, he's a Leafs fan. You don't fake that type of pain. You know what I mean? Like, you don't put yourself through that willingly if you're not a fan.
Imagine being a Leafs fan. Just imagine.
I agree, but yeah, he's 100% a Leafs fan. I would take the opportunity to bury him and call him a fake fan in a second, and I can't do it. He's a tried and true Leafs fan. He just is.
He's actually a Devils fan.
Nah, he's a Leafs fan.
Carolina Hurricanes fan.
He's a Leafs fan, for better or for worse. And I mean, it's typically for worse.
I'm sure if Beth told him to be a Buffalo Sabres fan, he'd do that for her too. Good old Buffalo Beth. Anyway, Matthew Hook saying, I'm guessing Cope shows up at Double or Nothing to save Garcia and Nigel from the beatdown. That's a fair idea. Cope and Christian have to come back together, and they got to do something with FTR, so that exists. Do Cope and Christian win the belts in Toronto at all out? Is that when the tag titles switch hands? They beat the Hurt Syndicate?
Yeah, boy. Putting over really young talent here.
That's right. That's what we do. Tag division gets beefed up with Cope and Christian just to have them win the tag titles from the young Hurt Syndicates. You all love it. You all love the idea of doing it. It still feels like the Bucks are going to win those tag titles, but who knows? It's a very strange situation. We got to get to Cope and Christian getting on the same page or getting aligned, and Cope's got to come back first anyway. All oot. Eventually, that's not going to be a fun joke to make anymore. By like mid-January, or sorry, mid-July, I should say. It'll be done. Anyway, what's next? AEW Dynamite is tonight. It's the go home. Should we run this down?
Sure.
I'm sure 7 more matches will be added to the card by the time we finish Dynamite.
Dynamite? I don't know. I mean, to Double or Nothing, yeah, they're gonna add a bunch of stuff. How many matches are on the card right now
for Double or Nothing?
Yeah,
it's like 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you count Anarchy in the Arena.
Well, you should. It's a match on the show.
Yeah, but AEW hasn't officially announced that it's happening.
No, they have.
Oh, they have. It is. They just updated it. Holy shit! Between the time, so now they have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, sorry, 7. You got the tag titles. You got the women's world title.
That match, the tag title match should go about 2 seconds.
Well, I don't think you're gonna get that. I'm sorry, you get 15 minutes. Come on, Dustin Rhodes out there. You got to go 15. He's still got plenty left in the tank, brother. Osprey Page will probably go 25.
Yeah, they'll get time.
Monet Hayter will probably go. I mean, if Mercedes like pushes for it, she'll probably want 20, but it'll probably be 15.
Yeah, they'll get time.
Mina and Tony Storm probably about 15, 20 minutes too.
Probably
18.
Probably shorter than that.
Yeah, 10, 15.
Yeah.
Briscoe Ricochet.
It's a stretcher match. Like, it should get some time.
Someone in the comments is trying to say like, oh, they're doing this match because Ricochet put Zach Gowen in the hospital. I'm like, not once did they show us that Zach Gowen had to be taken to the hospital after his match. Maybe they made a passing comment on commentary, but that sure as shit doesn't sell why this is a stretcher match.
Yeah, I saw Zach Gowen without a leg, and it's like, he got taken to the hospital. Shit, this was Ricochet's doing. He had to go back. He had to go to the hospital to get a new leg. Fucking Ricochet.
I refused to say anything to that comment. I just said, no, stop it. Go back to Monday's show. It is absolutely a comment on the show.
Hold on. I will.
You can go and look at it. It says, Joel, the match is happening, blah, 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 because of this. Go and read it.
I explained why the match is happening. They're going to get taken for a hair transplant. I stand by this. I will. Now it's there. It's Joel. The Ricochet Mark Briscoe match is a stretcher match because Ricochet sent Jack Gowen to the hospital on a stretcher. There you go.
Did they show this once again? Is that because was it happening in the background when Mark Briscoe laid out the challenge and I just didn't see it? Did they make a passing reference to this on commentary? Why?
I just hope this person just saw that Zach Gowen just had one leg and it's like he definitely went to the hospital after this match. he only had one leg. There's no way he got to the back by himself. He had to go to the hospital.
He needed help. I had such a weird look on my face when I read that. I'm like, huh? Commentary said the Briscoes were close with God. That's fine. Commentary can say whatever they want, but like Jeremy said it on this show a billion times. I've said it a billion times on the show. Who's paying attention to commentary like that much? Very strange. Did you get your filler? Those are plastic grapes.
Or are they?
That's true. Those are plastic beads.
I gotta finish my water. I'm not gonna dunk them in like water. So let me finish my water. Well, I'll finish by the end of the show. We got 15 minutes.
It's not my fault that I don't listen to commentary, Matthew Hooks. Stop it. I don't listen to commentary from any company. This isn't even an AEW thing anymore. I just don't care for the commentary best of times. Anyway, you learn to tune it out. FTR versus the McGuinness and Garcia team probably give that about 15, 20 minutes.
Why are you saying 15 and 20 minutes for all of this? That's not happening.
That's just what they do. Every match gets 15, 20 minutes.
No.
Except for Anarchy in the Arena, which will get 45.
They're going to add more matches to this show, and these matches are going to get cut down.
What are they going to add to this show? Legit, what more can they add to the show?
They're going to add Okada and Speedball.
Yeah, they got to add that. But that match can only go maximum 20 minutes.
Okay, well, 15 to 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes.
They're going to add an ROH 6-man tag team title match.
What, so that Dustin can work twice?
Yeah. They're going to add an ROH. They're going to add an ROH tag team title match as well.
They need a Blake Christian standout match.
Hell yeah.
Who's the ROH TV champion? Commander?
Allegedly.
So they should do Commander versus Blake Christian, and Blake Christian should win the title.
Facts. I agree with that.
Do that on the buy-in. They need a 16-people tag match. That's true.
They need an all-star tag team match.
Everything's an all-star. You got to do it. Use some random pre-show tag match. But it's Nick Wayne. It's Nick Wayne wins the tag. Oh yeah, he's got the TV title. Nick Wayne.
He's in Japan. He's in Japan, so he can't.
Fly him back for one night.
Where's Hologram? What happened to Hologram?
Didn't he have a thing on Collision a couple weeks ago and then never to be seen again?
I'm so annoyed. Like they had Hologram right there, and they fumbled Hologram.
They put him in a tag team.
Yeah, with Commander for like 2 weeks.
Hold on, where has he been? He last worked. Oh, he teamed with Rhino to take on the Frat House. That's taped for ROH.
He's not hurt. Did he get hurt in that match?
No. He beat Max Caster at Playoff Palooza.
Yeah, like 5 weeks ago.
It was almost a month ago.
It was close.
Yeah, SP3 is pitching Bane and Ford versus Harley and Anna, Fletcher Bandito, Brody Alexander. Jesus Christ, why do we have to have all these matches?
Yeah, they're gonna get these matches on the card.
Oh God,
they're gonna add more.
If they do it like this for All Out, I don't know if I'm gonna go.
They do this for every show. What do you mean?
I know they're probably gonna do it for that show too.
Every single show they do this stuff.
Very strange. Very strange. Don't know why they do that. Anyway. Anything else happening on that show that we need to give time to? No, that's Double or Nothing right now. 5 more matches to be added, and by the end of tonight, everybody has to wrestle collectively at the same time.
It is where the best wrestle.
It is
factual.
Well, they do something.
They wrestle, Joel.
It's not
Watch the
streamed.
product.
Well, I don't watch the product at the best of
Watch
times.
the product.
Eh,
They should have. So for tonight, they should have. They're doing the face-to-face with the Owen winners. So Jamie and Mercedes and Hangman and Will. They should do that at the same time. Like they should do the segments in the ring together, the face-to-face. So they're just like cutting promos back and forth on each other. Like Mercedes speaks and Jamie speaks and Will speaks and Hangman speaks and then Jamie and then Mercedes and then Hangman and then Will and then Jamie and it's Hangman and then Will and then Mercedes and Will and Hangman and Will and Jamie and Mercedes and Will and Hangman and Mercedes and Jamie and Hangman and Mercedes and Will and Jamie and Hangman.
Oprah, Uma, Oprah.
Like that's what they should do on this show. And then it just breaks down into they're just all yelling at each other.
So very WWE promo indeed.
But then they all come together and they all go CEO. All four of them just doing the CEO dance. They're all united in their love of the CEO dance. And the music
Hangman's
plays.
incredibly into it and didn't expect it.
Hangman fucking loves it. Yeah.
He's all about it.
Could you imagine Hangman doing the CEO dance? Oh,
of all four, he's the one that I least expect to be into it, but I think he'll be the most into it.
yeah.
Mina would love it. Sorry, not Mina. Sorry, Jamie Hayter. Hayter would love it, and Ospreay would probably be all in on it too. But,
Ospreay's he's done it before.
He's doing it. Yeah, he's doing it.
Yeah, Ospreay's outperforming Mercedes on that thing. Yeah, Mercedes is just like, all right, then CEO dance, say the line, do the dance. I get it. Like, so she's into it, but you know, she can't do what Ospreay doesn't do it every week. So Ospreay's got, a little extra to do the CEO dance. And Jamie's into it, but Hangman, like, you're just shocked that he actually gets into it. Yeah.
Big dance says like, oh, my kids love it when I do this at home.
Yeah.
Big into it. Very excited for Mercedes to have to say Albuquerque. Say hello to your CEO. I love it when she has
your Mercedes voice.
I don't know. It's just a high-pitched woman's voice that's not really of any value. It's just a voice. I'm not going to do a Mercedes voice. I don't have one.
Do your Shrek voice and pretend like it's every Scottish wrestler ever.
Is it Joe Hendry? Is it Drew McIntyre? You'll never know. Chicken jockey. Anyway, tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. You mentioned the aforementioned face-to-face. Will Ospreay, Hangman Page.
They should go back to back.
They should
instead of face-to-face.
They should. What is this? Bandito and Chris Jericho. So
here's how the promo should go. I set it up where it's like 4, so they're all face-to-face. No, what it should be is it's Hangman and I'm trying to figure out how this actually works. Oh, it's Hangman and Mercedes like that, back to back, right? And then it's Hayter on this side, face to face with Hangman, and it's Ospreay on this side, face to face with Mercedes. So that's how it should be.
Someone mentioned a very good point. Where is Adam Cole, baby?
He was on commentary for a match, and he's been like backstage chilling with the Paragon and as grizzled young veterans, remember them, as they were like, hey guys, we're still part of this company and we want to wrestle you.
But they're not. They never signed.
I think they did.
No. This was one of those things where everyone thought they signed, but no, there was never an official GYV sign. I did this whole thing with Jeff Hawkins because he was so sir. And I went back and I was like, never an announcement.
All right, fine then. Well, they still were just like, hey guys, we showed up in the company for a couple of months or weeks, and then they forgot about us or sent us to ROH. But now we're back. Paragon and GYV's on Collision this week.
Which, by the way, Collision's on Thursday, right?
Yeah. The pay-per-view should be on Saturday. I'm so annoyed that they're running a dumb Sunday pay-per-view. Stop doing Sunday pay-per-views. Knock that shit off.
There's no football. You should be running on Saturday.
Yeah.
Silly. Not that Saturday is the football day. All days are football days. Who knows? But yeah, that's
that's why they're on Sunday, because there's no football. They don't want to compete against the NFL.
They should be running on Saturdays.
It should just be on Saturday, period. Like Saturday started at 7. Just to make everybody's life easier.
You can absolutely go against Saturday night's main event. You'll be fine. That show is not exactly big moment John there. Like I get it in terms of like the people are more familiar with WWE and it's going to be on broadcast, so like it's a bigger opportunity. But AEW could just do it. They could just run against Saturday night's main event. Run it Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm all for it. Afternoon Saturday wrestling. Get it in, get it out. Let's go.
But then I still got to stick around for Saturday night's main event. That sucks. Like,
well, you'll be doing that soon enough anyway.
I don't want to watch any of these shows.
Sounds like you need a vacation, pal.
Just stop doing wrestling. Just knock it off. Don't do anymore.
Just don't run a 4-hour show. Just on a Sunday.
Yeah, Adam Cole, the alleged TNT champion, has been reduced to the role of a commentator. Great champion there. I now have a lemon to stick in my water bottle.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you finished that sentence because you hung on where you were going to stick that lemon for a while.
I'm gonna stick it up your yeah. Stick it up your yeah.
Scott, which card is stacked? Double or Nothing or Saturday night's main
All
event?
of them, Joel.
All of them are stacked.
All of the wrestling is stacked.
All wrestling is stacked.
Every single one of them.
That's true. Now I don't know if we're doing a TNA post show on Thursday. I assume we are. I am positive that my co-host does not know that Collision is on Thursday this week because she has not messaged me about it yet. I will get the message at 10 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday.
What is that?
My co-host for TNA absolutely does not know that Collision is running Thursday. I will get a message at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight saying, hey, are we doing a TNA post show?
I'll message Cresta right now. I'll say, hey, did you know Collision is running on Thursday? Which one are you going to cover?
And then she'll be like, LOL, I have no idea. Let me ask Joel. And Zeno Hour saying, get Cresta on IW. Buddy, she's asleep right now.
Yes.
If there's one thing I know about Cresta Star, that she is a sleeper, a late sleeper.
I respect it.
I wish I could sometimes.
Factual.
True.
Factual. We all hate our jobs, right?
Yeah, it's been part of the zeitgeist forever.
Everyone knows I don't like wrestling. Everyone knows this.
Wake her up. I ain't waking her up. We'll let her get her sleep.
Nobody
wakes me up in my house except for my 3-year-old child at 6 a.m. But that's
kick him.
Well, this morning it was nice. He was cute, but yeah, because we've done this thing where like we're getting him to transition into the big boy bed. He goes to sleep with like 2 toys in his hands because it's just apparently that's a toddler thing. It's like a comfort thing. So anyway, he like sleeps with. Yeah, exactly. So every morning he wakes up and he like eventually gets out of his room, opens the door, and instead of saying good morning, mommy, good morning, daddy, he says, I can't find my toy. And it's like in the cutest whiny voice. And it's like, have you checked the floor? And then he goes back and he's like, it was on the floor.
Kids are just dumb.
Kids are dumb.
Like,
the worst was the night when, so I'm going to bury my wife for a minute. She decided that he could go to bed with a large, hold on.
What is Joel pulling out of his black cabinet?
With this.
Is that a Paw Patrol gimmick?
Yes. This is a balloon of the propaganda piece of garbage.
You should pop it.
I'm close to doing that, but I could just do it in the back. Anyway, it said you can go to bed with that. And also with this unicorn lamp that like, it's an RGB lamp that just flashes colors. Yeah, you can sleep with both of those tonight. The kid woke up at 1:30 in the morning saying, I can't sleep. And I was like, yeah, probably because you've got a giant, hold on. She just wanted, I can hear you, right? Love you. Anyway. Yeah.
You should run in and kick him in the head, Mrs. Joel Pearl. He deserves it.
She just lets him with this and the light, and I had to sit with him for a while and get him back to sleep.
I hope she throws some shit at you.
She's probably gonna be upset with me for the rest of the day, but I still love her lots.
Hopefully she's listening to the show. Like I know she can like hear you, but I hope she hears the pleas that I think you should get shit thrown at you. Like literally.
No, I don't deserve to have shit thrown at me.
Disagree.
That's fine. She's an amazing mother. She really is. She's a fantastic wife and partner. She knows that she is. This is one of those times where we were just doing anything to get him to go to bed. That turned out to be fun. Anyway, giant grapes in your you-know-what.
It does look like an anal plug, right? Like,
you bet.
What are we doing with this thing? They couldn't have like designed it a little bit differently. I guess it's a grape Christmas tree.
Fun fact: she's allergic to flowers.
You can kind of see it.
Yeah, it's not really a Christmas tree. Looks terrible. It's just you holding this up maniacally as you're frozen. There you go.
Froze for a second. All right.
Did you finish your water?
Oh yeah, I did. All right, so I guess I got to stick my grapes in my water.
May as well, and then we can do the actual Dynamite preview.
I take the top off of this thing. Hold on. All right, make sure I get all of it. The lemon actually fits in there pretty well. Just drops right in there.
Yeah.
That one, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, use a little force. Put it in the other way.
Yeah. Just really get down in there with the.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Kind of sticks on top right there, and then you can. We can. No, not quite. I mean, once we. Oh, look at that! Jeez, there we go. You can do some damage with this thing here.
That might hurt. That might hurt after a few rounds. Oh, I don't know if I would want that. Yeah, you gotta use a little bit of lube.
Look at this thing. You can really. You got a good grip here, so it's like extended on it. You can really just. Get up in where you need to get up in.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's painful. Joel, get Joe Hendry to sing an apology song to your wife. Probably not. Probably not.
Those two things have been defiled now.
You'll have a new water bottle on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wash this thing, that's for sure.
Oh God.
This is a good water bottle. I mean, I've had it for a little while. It's a good little water bottle.
Then later on, you'll be talking about the time you had to go to the emergency room. Anyway, that was one of the good dragons. Are we ready for the Dynamite preview?
I thought we already previewed this show. Sure.
No, we only did the faces to faces.
Oh, okay.
Mina versus Julia Hart. Tony Storm's on commentary.
I wonder who's gonna win this match.
The fans.
That'd be a good match. Like, that's cool. Like, I hope Mina has two themes again. Just keep that going. I know Tony's like, I'm bringing it back. Like, you're just gonna fuck that. That should be her victory theme, right?
Do the Mankind style.
Yeah. She gets the new song should be her victory theme. Then she can do the dance, like after she wins.
Shout out to Danza Kazuro. So what do you think? 15, 20 minutes?
They're going to get 5 to 8 minutes.
MJF signs a contract to join the Hurt Syndicate. What are we doing? Because the Hurt Syndicate have a tag team title match at Double or Nothing. So
yeah,
how much shenanigan can you really do with this particular contract signing, knowing that there's a tag match on the
tag match doesn't matter though. Like,
does it not? Like, then why are we this is the one thing where I'm just like, this is why I question some of the story beats, because it's like you're telling one story here, and then you've got Sons of Texas going for the tag titles here, and it's like nothing fits here in the same story.
Dustin had beef with MJF for a little while, and then MJF, beat him, and then Dustin was like, all right, guess I'll go back to ROH.
Doesn't seem to be the reason for anything. It's like, why are we doing a stretcher match? And the answer was because someone was on a stretcher one time.
I don't know if we're going to get like shenanigans on this. I don't know if we're going to get Cedric. I don't know.
I think maybe you'll get some tense moments, but eventually MJF signs a contract, everybody hugs, and then whatever happens at Double or Nothing starts not a trend, but like gets a little more tension. I think I can see this going all the way to All In at this point.
I think that
or one of the 4-hour blockbusters.
I think that the Hurt Syndicate should just beat down Dustin and Sammy. MJF signs the contract. Dustin and Sammy come out and like just talk. And MJF was like, "We hurt people," and they beat the shit out of Dustin and Sammy. You get some actual heat on the Hurt Syndicate. I mean, like they might enjoy the beatdown of Dustin and Sammy, honestly, but the intention is to get heat on the Hurt Syndicate, and then you make Dustin and Sammy a little sympathetic going into the pay-per-view and add a little something to that match, because I can't imagine anybody caring about that match right now.
No, neither can I. I still wonder why this match is happening, but here we are. It is. It's going to be very funny.
You see, Joel. Joel.
Yeah.
The Sons of Texas won a number 1 contenders match against Crew.
Yep.
So
that's it. That's
it.
Okay, just making sure.
Nobody saw it, but it happened. They were watching Black Adam instead.
Oh, what a night that was. God bless. Get your Rock AEW t-shirts from AEWshop.com. What else is happening on this show? The super tag. Moxley and the Bucks take on Mimosa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Swerve. Remember the Trios Championships? Those are also a thing that people have.
Yeah, they won them not too long ago. Like, it's fine. They just do things. This is an all-star tag. You got to do all-star matches.
I mean, Hook is out. I get that. Like, they're doing a Hook injury thing, but yeah, it's interesting. But this is presumably the main event, and then
Shibata's out too.
Shibata is out.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe they'll be slotted in by the time we get to Sunday. A double or muffin. This is one of my favorite names for that show ever. Okay. Double or muffin. Anyway, this probably end with the whole schmoz finish and getting ready for the pay-per-view. We're out of time, and see you on Thursday for Collision when all of these men face off again in singles competition, and that's the go home.
Do you think MJF makes a crack at Dustin and Sammy? So if it plays out the way I have laid it out, so Dustin and Sammy come out and like step to the Hurt Syndicate and MJF is just like, did you guys win that match? No one saw it. TNT was so offended at you guys being in this match that they just cut the feed against you. That's an MJF thing. He would do that.
He would, but I don't think it would. I don't know. I don't know how inside baseball he wants to get with this thing.
What do you mean? They're inside baseball with everything.
That's fair. I mean, this is, I don't know. There's some times where I'm like, this is the MJF summer vacation storyline where like this is in between him going for another title. This is like another character-based builder for him. So he's having fun with it, but ultimately he's not going for the world title that he said he wants to get back. I don't know. We're just in that part of the story where it's like, all right, we got to weave through what's MJF doing with the Hurt Syndicate that is to his benefit.
Say that again.
What is MJF doing in this storyline that is to his benefit?
To his benefit?
Yes, because at the end of the day, the MJF character only plays to himself.
Yeah, he's going to get the title. He's going to go after the title without doing any of the work. He thinks that the Hurt Syndicate is going to, do some work for him.
Okay, and then when they don't, that's when he leaves or turns on, or like
what if they do?
What do they do? Help him win the title?
Yeah.
I feel like we've been here before. In WWE with Lashley, the Lashley Miz thing.
What do you mean?
I got to remember the story. It's from Pandemic.
Oh, that was the cash in when Miz cashed in.
Yeah, the cash in when Miz cashed in, or when I guess was it Miz cashed in. Regardless, I lost it. It's fine. I'll drop it. But the point of all this is MJF. What's the end of this? How does this end, and who's on what side of the ledger at that point?
Well, it depends on where they're going with it. I think they could have multiple endings here. Like, it makes sense what they're doing. The MJF wants to use them and they think they can use MJF. It might be a mutually beneficial partnership for a while until it's not mutually beneficial anymore.
That's the question. How long will it be mutually beneficial?
I don't know. Bobby helped Miz as a payment and wanted a championship match.
That's what it was.
Yeah, Miz cashed in.
Yeah.
Not on Bobby, but Bobby softened up. I guess it was Drew.
True.
And yeah.
I reached so far to hate I got lost. It's true. I was trying to make the point that like it was a familiar story with Bobby being used to get somebody over or to get someone a championship, which is similar to what we're doing here, but different.
It could potentially play out that way if Bobby and Hurt Syndicate help MJF and then they side at MJF. It's like, wait a second, why are we going to help you win the title? No, we want the title for ourselves. So like that could be a direction they go with it, but we don't know.
We'll find out. Did not watch Pandemic era WWE. Fake crowd gave me a headache. Buddy, they're still doing it today. There's still a fake crowd overlay, best of times. But if you didn't know, WWE's on fire right now in case you've been living under a rock. Anything you want to plug before we get on out of here?
People thought that the crowd was fake on Monday.
Well, then they all sang CM Punk's theme.
I would say they got it together really well for that. Like, that's some of the best fake crowd work they've done. If they were able to pull off the theme singing and everything.
Water. That's all it is. Water. The answer is always water.
What? Oh,
Jules asking. Tell me how AEW hurts you and why do you hate them so much? Water. The answer is always water.
You're just a big old hater, Joel.
Fair. No, it's because none of the people singing were on camera. There's always the baseline crowd noise. That's always there. It's like a blanket noise just to cover the space, just to cover the sound spectrum. That's always there. And I think it's smart to do in your sports like presentation. But then you have the real crowd piped in for the actual things that happen.
They might not have been on camera, but I don't know how you fake something like that. Maybe you can. Again, good on them if they did, honestly. There's fan video of like the crowd singing, though. I just don't think that it was like faked or anything. And again, if it has, more power to them. They've mastered it.
Why is Kate comparing the Toronto Maple Leafs to WWE fans?
Fair.
I get it. It's true. Nobody likes them. Anyway, our frame rates are immaculate. Do you have anything to plug before we get out of here?
Never.
Jeremy's back tomorrow with SP3 on a Thursday to talk about AEW Dynamites and anything else that happens. And I am back on Friday to talk to Jeremy about, I guess, Collision at that point. We're going to talk about Collision on Friday. That's fun. Yeah. And maybe TNA a little bit ahead of Under Siege.
We'll have a big weekend to preview, Joel. We're going to talk about Battleground. We're going to talk about Double or Nothing. We're going to talk about Saturday night's main event. There's so much shit this weekend.
Shout out to this one person who just called me surly on the internet.
Surly.
I am surly. That's right. If there's one thing people know me as, Jeremy, it's a surly human being. I'm always upset about everything. That's me.
I am a bizarre personality.
Oh, factual. That one's factual.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue with that.
That's true.
I don't know.
Went 50-50 on your allegations there, pal.
Yeah.
See Sweet Thursday for SP3, by the way. Yeah, I'm a hater, but not only am I a hater, I'm an equal opportunity hater. I will hate on anything and everything at any cost. I don't show, but the hate is always there.
Does anybody like us, Joel?
Don't need them to. I just need them to watch and support us.
Does any wrestling fan like either of you? I don't know.
Would they be happier if I screamed at the top of my lungs and talked about Cody Rhodes and wore a pink bathrobe? Like, what do you want me to do, people? What do you want from me? What do you want from me, wrestling fans? What over I don't even know what performative bullshit would you like from this today?
You should be more of a hater, Joel.
I should. It might actually give us more views if I hate on everything more.
Yeah, you should be way more of a hater. You should have clickbaited the thumbnail with the Willow Nightingale news as well. AEW wasting money on Willow.
There are certain lines I refuse to cross. Believe it or not, I have some ethics.
Do a Willow Nightingale re-signing confirmation so I have an easy short before we wrap up.
John Alba from Sports Illustrated interviewed Willow Nightingale ahead of AEW Double or Nothing, and in the interview, Willow did confirm that she has in fact re-signed with AEW. Jeremy, is there anything you want to add from that article? Because I don't have it pulled up and you want to do the short?
Yeah, I'll add a quote. Hold on. On-air editing here, everybody. All right. That was a good first pass.
Here we go. That is true. Here's the quote. That is true. Yes, I'm happy where I am. I think there is so much left ahead for me to do at AEW, things that I want to accomplish. But also, I'm just really excited to be a part of something when it's fresh and new. And I think we're past the years of finding our footing, but to have been a part of that and continue to water and watch it grow is such a privilege as well as a joy, So I'm excited to continue to take part in that.
There you go. Good on John Alba. He did not DM me the scoop so I could pre-write the story. Cowardly. Hate him.
Can't trust him to do anything.
I like Petro. Shout out to you, Petro. I am a very bizarre personality.
I should be less of a hater. I'm an equal opportunity hater. I hate everything equally, and I take no shots at anybody but everyone.
That's not true. Don't lie to the people.
I take shots at everything.
Nah.
NXT sucked.
You're a big TNA guy.
A big TNA, that's right. Can't wait to
TNA guy.
Can't wait to be in the house in Brampton near the airport.
Joel is like TNA. That's how he gets his kid to bed every single night. He chants TNA.
I'm gonna wear a hat and just like put it all the way down to my and I'm just gonna put my hood up, and that's how I'm gonna go to.
You're Joe Goldberg. Don't do that.
Just gonna put my hood up and not be seen at TNA this weekend. Joe Hendry's gonna lose that title.
He is. I've said he is. Trick Williams is gonna win it. Dude, here's what they should do. Trick Williams should win the title. And they should get Booker T on TNA commentary. But he's Black Snow. Black Snow returns to TNA just to do commentary, just for trick matches. Nobody else. Just doing trick matches. They don't even acknowledge that he's Booker T. He's just Black Snow doing commentary for these matches. That'll put 15,000 in UBS Arena.
No, I don't want any of that.
I'm Black Snow.
Oh yeah, man.
Booker rules. I'll have no Booker slander. He's fantastic.
GI Pro. Oh God. Anyway, back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Jeremy and SP3. Go have fun with that.
GI Blow would be somebody I'd book in Ring of Hallucinations.
He'd be with.
He could go. Louis says a coke fiend. We could take that in another direction as well. We can do both, honestly.
You got to get the coke somehow. All right, we're done, ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.